The first thing is, before we move on to any calculation or anything, what exactly is differentiation? When we talk about differentiation, what we actually are studying is we are studying change. Change in what? Change in anything. It could be the change in height, change in population, change in distance. Distance upon time is also a derivative of speed, because when we do distance divided by speed, it is distance divided by time is speed, है ना? So when we are studying change in anything, basically this is what differentiation exactly is. पहली चीज तो ये हो गई, ठीक है? Now, if I write an equation over here, which is y is equals to 2x plus 4, you people will tell me, okay, sir, the gradient of this line is 2. ठीक है? What does gradient represent? It actually represents a change of y with respect to x. So if I make a straight line over here like this, which is not becoming straight, it is straight now. So if I, let's say this point is A and this point is B, and when I talk about the gradient of this line, I'm basically talking about a change of y with respect to a change in x, right? But because on a straight line, we have always studied the gradient on a straight line is same, does not change. So there is no actually में कोई change है नहीं. The change remains the same. The gradient is always 2. But when we talk about a curve over here, at every single point on the curve, what you see is the curve is, there is a change. सही है? Now, when we were doing our GCSEs or O levels, we learned that to find the gradient on any point on the curve, we make a tangent, right? Remember, I think many of you made the graphs and then you made a tangent. And once you make a tangent, you find the gradient of the tangent. Okay? What we will do is we will directly find the gradient of the tangent, okay, using this method which we'll be doing in the next couple of minutes. But what this differentiation will do for us every single time, it will give us the gradient, or it will give us the change of the tangent. Okay. Now, if this is the curve over here, at every single point on this curve, the gradient is changing, because at every single point you can make a tangent, and for that tangent, the gradient will be different. So we will represent differentiation by writing dy by dx. Dy basically means a change in y, dx means a change in x, and change of y upon change of x actually means the gradient, right? Change of y with respect to x actually means the gradient. Now, this change of y with respect to x can be the change of distance with respect to time, but we know this is equals to velocity or speed, right? Distance upon time. S is the distance, by the way, please remember. And so you don't get confused. Okay, the change of distance with respect to time is called velocity, right? So we'll write it as ds by dt, but that comes later. At the moment, we'll just study it in terms of y and x. And I'll just repeat it again. When we talk about differentiation, we are actually studying the change, and we study that change through the gradient. All right. Now, at any particular point on this curve, I can make a tangent and find the gradient. What differentiation will do for us is it will give us directly the equation of the tangent, right? Now, how do we do it? I will just focus on that for the first 10-20 minutes. We'll just focus on how to do differentiation. If you have done it before, well and good for you. But right now, we'll just learn how to differentiate. So the basic method behind differentiation is, if I have y is equals to x square and I have to find dy by dx, you who have studied add maths, right? No? So you don't know the basic, but you have done it. Okay. So the method behind it every single time will be, make sure your variable is in the numerator. That's the first thing. Once it is the numerator, you multiply the power over here by the coefficient. So the coefficient is 1 over here, right? So 2 times 1 is 2. And then you decrease the power by 1 and that is it. So I can write anything y is equals to x to the power, I will, Muhammad, if it is x to the power minus 1 upon 3, what would you do? No, not minus 1 upon 3. Minus 1 upon 3 will multiply and then you subtract 1. So this will become what? 4 upon 3. Huh? Dekho, this power multiplied over here and 1 upon 3 minus 1 is what? Minus 4 upon 3. Right? So let me give you another example. So if you have y is equals to 3x square, dy by dx is equals to 6x. Okay. Basically, what this represents is the gradient of tangent. Please just remember this. This dy dx represents the gradient of tangent. So at any particular point on the curve, for any particular x value, you will just substitute that x value and you will get the gradient, right? Okay. So just one more. Sama, would you like to answer this one quickly? If I give you y is equals to 3x to the power 3 square root of x, Sama, how would you differentiate this? Ma'am, Sama.
Do you have to square root the x?
Okay, so you will first add half. So half times 3 will become 3 by 2. And then you
Yeah,
subtract 1. So this will become what? Minus half.
negative half.
Okay. And it is always better that you write it as 3 upon 2 and then you bring it in the denominator and write it as positive square.
Okay.
All right. Because you will be substituting values of x over here. So you write your answer in exact form like this. Right?
Okay.
Okay. One last thing before I give you people some questions. Okay. If it is y is equals to, look at the board beta, 1 upon x to the power 4, the first thing you will do is you will bring it in the numerator and write it like this. And then you will differentiate. So this will become minus 4x and then you subtract 1, minus 5. मैंने तो कभी नहीं बोला कि अपनी मर्जी से करना है, हर बार -1 करना लाजमी, सही है? अच्छा, the question you could ask is, sir, why are we subtracting this one? है ना? So we don't have that thing in our syllabus. That is derivative from the first principles. Okay, how does y equals to x square becomes 2x? So I will not focus on that. I'll just send you a screenshot. Okay, how did this thing came about? Okay, why do we subtract one? But that is not important for today. For today, just remember, and for AS and A2 as well, they won't ask you why do you differentiate like that. You just have to do this. ठीक है, मैं आपको send कर दूंगा अलग से. Now, Mohammed, are you looking at the board? How would you differentiate this? You don't have to think. मुझे बस बताओ. No, no, don't do. Tell me what I will do over here. Just tell me what is my step. 2x is wrong. You tell me. No, beta. The first thing is because in the denominator there is something and it is a variable. So you will first write your expression like this. You will simplify it. So this will become x plus 5x squared. Now I will differentiate it. So this is power 1. 1 multiply over here becomes 1 and this will become x to the power 0 plus 10x. X to the power 0 is what? 1. So whenever I differentiate x it or 2x or 3x or 4x or x, this will become 1, this will become 2, this will become 3, this will become 4. And relating it to the equation of a straight line. If you have y is equals to 2x, gradient क्या होता है? 2. Right? If you have y is equals to 3x, what is the gradient? That's 3. And by differentiating, we also get 3. But we also know from y equals to mx plus c that the gradient is 3, right? So whenever we differentiate x, it will become 1. And if it is y is equals to 4, dy dx will be, what will it be? If y is equals to 4, dy dx will be, it will be 0. And why will it be 0 is important. देखो, एक तो mathematically you will say, okay sir, this is x to the power 0. 0 times 4 will become 0. Right? But if you say, no sir, don't explain it mathematically to me, I would say y is equals to 4 is a constant, right? Y is equals to 4. When we talk about dy dx, we're talking about change. What change can happen with 4? Nothing. It will remain 4. So that's why the change is 0. That's the explanation. Mathematically, I've just shown you why it will be 0. So if you ever have an expression, let's say y is equals to 3x cube plus 4x square minus 5. When you do dy by dx, this will become 9x square. This will become 8x to the power 1, and this will become 0. Because in a constant, there cannot be any change. Huh? Yeah, it will be. And again, what I was explaining, I think you were listening, is why is it even 9x square? There is an explanation behind it. Normally in metric system, these are derivatives through first principles and in many other boards as well. But with us, we do not focus on why is it 9x squared. So we don't have to worry about it right now. Still, if someone wants, after the class, I can take out a screenshot and send it to you, but that's not important. The important thing is you should know power will multiply with the coefficient and decrease by 1. That is it. Okay. So your task for right now is, okay, in question number 2, it has just given find the gradient, find a value for the gradient. So once you find dy dx, you will put x equals to 1, x equals to 0, x equals to 2, x equals to 4, right? That's all you have to do. And then in question 3, you have to simply differentiate. One other way of writing dy by dx is we write it as f dash of x. This is called derivative of the function. -1 means inverse of the function. F dash would mean derivative of the function. This worksheet, I think, has already been uploaded on Google Classroom. I will prefer if you people open it up and do question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of it today in today's class only, beta. Okay? Sama and Anush, Umar, you joined very late. That's not good, beta. Sama and Anush, did you understood so far how to differentiate? Okay. So by considering the gradient, I'll just explain the first part. So dy dx will be 4x cube. In place of when you put 1, the answer will be 4. And that's it. That's the gradient. You know, easy. Remember with part D, you have to bring x in the numerator, then differentiate. So x will become power -1. Some basics you have to remember. Once you understand this, the rest of the thing is very easy for differentiation. Good. So with 2c, it's y is equals to 2 root x, which means 2 power x, 2x to the power half. So dy by dx would be equals to half into 2 will become 1, right? And then you subtract, so this is 1. So this will become minus half. So I can write it as 1 upon root x, right? Sama?
Yeah.
And then when I put 4 over here, so 1 upon root 4 will be what? 1 upon 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And 3f, where is 3f? Okay, look, this is basic indices. X square cube root will become x2 to the power 1 upon 3. So this is x to the power 2 upon 3. Right? Now when I differentiate this, 2 upon 3 multiplies over here, and x to the power 2 upon 3 minus 1 will become minus 1 upon 3. Right? So you can write it as 2 upon 3. You bring x in the denominator and 1 upon 3 will mean cube root of x. You can write it like this as well. Got it, Sama?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, uh, Ruju as well? Okay. Beta, everyone, make sure you check your answers, okay? As you move along, please make sure you check your answers. Omar, do you know the basic differentiation? We multiply by the coefficient and decrease the power by 1.
क्या पढ़ा
No, sir,
था?
I haven't done that.
Okay, then quickly, beta. We should be done with question 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in today's class, beta. Well, 20 minutes here, so we should be able to figure them out. Beta, I hope everyone knows that in question 4, this dash means derivative, okay? So if it is f of x, f dash would mean derivative. So you will simply differentiate, right? And again, with these questions, I will not do the differentiation. Mohammed and Uruj, look at the board for a moment, and those who are online as well. Let's say in part H, the first thing you will do is you'll simplify your function. So in the numerator, I have 2x and x power half. When you multiply, we add the power, right? So 1 plus half is what? 3 upon 2. And in the denominator, I have x power 3. So 3 upon 2 minus, when I cancel it out, 3 upon 2 minus 3 will become what? Minus 3 upon 2, right? 3 upon 2 minus 3 becomes minus 3 upon 2. I hope this is the correct answer that I'm giving. Now you will differentiate. So minus 3 upon 2 will multiply by 2 upon 3, and then the power will decrease. So whenever you have questions like these or this, or I'll explain it again, beta. Look, so 2x into x power half, and this is 3x cube. Now there are two ways I can go about it. I can just cancel this x and x cube. So this will become x square, right? And then because it's dividing, so if you have 1 upon 2 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator, so the powers subtract, right? So half minus 2 will become minus 1 upon minus 3 upon 2, right? Somebody, did you get it? So the first thing you will always remember is you will simplify it and then start differentiating. Got it? So you just, so 6 will multiply 6 upon 2x to the power 5. So this will become 3x to the power 5. In part F, you bring x in the numerator first. So this will multiply minus 3x to the power minus 2. That the first thing you will do is do divide by root x. So x square minus half becomes 3 upon 2. 3x upon root x will become 3x power half. I will not explain how. And this will become power minus half. Once you have done this, how did it become? This is your task. Okay. Now the dy dx becomes easy because 3 upon 2 into 4 is 6 now. 6. X to the power 1 upon 2. This will become half into 3 is 3 upon 2 x to the power minus half. Minus half into minus 2 will become plus 1. And this will become minus 3 upon 2. And that's it. Ho gaya. Right? You can write your answer as root x plus 3 upon 2 root x and then plus 1 upon x to the power 3 upon 2. This class. So some things that you will have to note. In the question, when it says find the gradient, it means yes, you will find dy by dx, right? But to find the gradient, you also need the x value. When it says crosses the y-axis, what does it mean? X is 0. When it crosses the x-axis, it means your coordinate is 0, y, right? So we already know x is 0. But in moving forward, in any of the question, if it says where it crosses the x-axis, what you know is with the x-axis that the coordinate will be x, 0. So you don't know the x value. What you can do is you can put y equals to 0 and find the value of x and then put it into the dy dx to find the gradient. Right? So this is what you'll have to remember. In this question, if it says find the value of a and b, it says the gradient. Listen, but don't do anything, just listen and then I will end the class. At the point 3, minus 3. So you can make one equation by substituting 3 and minus 3 in this original equation, right? And you can make another equation by first finding dy dx, right? And then putting x equals to 3 and equating it to 5. You will get two equations, you will get the value of a and b by solving it simultaneously. All of these questions moving forward are similar, beta. All of these. This range of values of dy dx, it is the same as inequalities that we did with quadratics. Inequalities less than 0, greater than 0. So you will know how to give your x values. Okay? Which means that by tomorrow, you should be done with all of these 18 or 19 questions, so that the is never negative. You'll just have to, acha dekho, when it says so that the gradient is never negative, it means first you'll find dy by dx. So that equation of dy dx becomes 9x square plus 12x plus 4. How will you show it? If you make the graph of dy by dx, it will be above the x-axis. So it means you'll have to find the turning point of this. This is how you will show it is never negative, because this is now dy by dx on the y-axis and this is x. So if you find the turning point of this and show that it is above the x-axis, it will mean the gradient is never negative. But that is for later. You will have, I think you have enough understanding to complete all of this before the next class. Next class, I will be moving forward. I won't be on this worksheet unless someone tells me, sir, I have this question, but which I expect you to tell me by tomorrow, not on Friday. Okay. So that's enough for today. We will end the class right now. You people can leave if you don't have any questions. Make sure you complete it by tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay. Tomorrow night tak kar lo, but not on Friday. Khuda Hafiz.